Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joe Menza here, and this is just a little 10-minute quickie that I did on my lunch. I've done a few like this now, and you can look anywhere. You can look on Google Maps or whatever gives you sort of an idea. I just had this one off the top of my head, but a couple other ones I had went into Google Maps and I just was looking at different scenery and stuff. You can go all around the country and kind of go down the roads and come up with just a scene to paint. But these here should go fairly quick for you as a good exercise. Now, this is 9x12 Fabriano hot press. Hot press is not my really paper of choice, but I happen to have a couple of pads, and I figured I'd use it up. So you can use whatever paper you like, but the point is to do these quickly. Now, I've put a sheen of water over the entire surface of the paper, and then I'm going to come in with some yellow. Now I'm going to use some, you can either use raw sienna or you can use yellow ochre and just kind of create where your source of light's going to be. In this case, it's going to be in the center. And just as a blender, when you put your colors over the top, it's a good sort of unifier of your paint. And then the next step is I'm just going to try putting in some different colors, maybe a little purple, a little blue. And that's what you want to do with these quick ones. You want to experiment and you want to see what color combinations work best for you. The spacing between your clouds. Now this one here, I didn't really get any spacing between the clouds because it kind of runs down and it all connects together. So I just really got two solid blobs of color, which I know happens to a lot of beginners. So when you paddle it in a, like this here and leave some white areas. If you go too far with it, well, then you'll have solid areas, which is fine. It's okay. But if you want to have different, cloud patterns and so forth, leave little spots of white open or leave little spots of unpainted paper open so you can have little things peeking through. And that's the good thing about these exercises. Now, you can sit there and you can just do skies if you want to. Skies are one of the things that are, if you're doing a painting like this in this scale, they're going to make or break the painting itself. So, everybody wants to paint a nice sky. It's not the easiest thing to do, and you'll get 1 out of 10 when you first start, and by the time you get to the end, you'll be much more, not to the end, but when you get further along, you will find yourself painting better and better skies. So you can see here I've put some different colors in here now. I'm doing this in vertical so I can film it more easily, but if you're using hot press paper, I definitely recommend painting in more of a flat position. But for the purposes of this video and just having fun on my lunchtime, it's just an easy way to go. And like I say, you can knock these out in about 10 or 15 minutes. Just have a little palette, a little portable palette that you have. And all you really need is something to stand up your paper, a board with a little rolled up something underneath towel. And you don't even need an easel or any of that kind of stuff. Just have a board, some little clips. In this case, I have my paper clipped to a binder folder. It just happened to fit perfectly, and I didn't have a board. So I clipped it to this binder folder, which is fine. Now, here I'm taking the brush. I'm using the medium size brush. And I'm doing the whole painting, really, with the medium size brush and just making the shape of a mountain here. Now, the thing to remember with skies is really you're tempted to mess with them. You want to put them in a minute or two and then leave it. Don't even touch it. You're tempted, but I would say you get what you get. It's better off if you just leave it alone. Now for this mountain here, I did go back in and add a little bit more color to it, which is okay. You'll notice off to the right, I didn't go over the whole thing. And it just leaves a little more dimension to that mountain. It's very minimal, very, very minimal amount. So that'd be our middle ground. Something just very, very simple. You can make a nice little picturesque scene, and people will think, hey, that's pretty good, and they won't realize that you spent 10 minutes on it. And so now, the bottom of the paper here, I'm just putting in quick, fast strokes for the foreground. Now, instead of working hard to make grass and every little blade of grass and every little leaf, just a quick horizontal, sideways stroke of the brush, and just let the chips fall where they may. You know, pick a color, something that matches either with your sky, the soil color, or maybe some green grass. You can do all different combinations. That's the beauty part of this is, you know, get yourself a pad. It doesn't have to be expensive paper. You know, this is just practice. You can use the backs. You get 10 sheets of paper. You can do 20 paintings. And you could just do one a day, 10, 15 minutes a day. And when you're done with this exercise, you will be much further along and understand what colors kind of work together, what you like, what you don't like. And it will help you as you move along. Now I'm taking my brush. I'm using mostly the corner of the brush, and I'm making just some different greens. I'm not trying to make the focus of the detail of these trees. Just enough for the shape and just some various foliage in sort of the background and middle ground. Just a little randomness to it. So here now I'm just going to take the cap off my pen. Perfect little scratching tool. The plastic cap from a pen. And I'm just going to scratch in some tree trunks and tree branches. Create some verticals. And a scene like this, where everything's kind of running horizontal, you have some trees pointing up sort of to the sky, to have some little sticks or twigs or some branchy type things pointing upward. When you put verticals in there, it just completes the realism of the painting just a little bit more. And I'm taking my rigger brush now and I'm making those verticals. There's just something about those that just do a final sail of the painting. It's just a minor detail. Takes a few seconds to pop in. Don't overdo it, you know, a few here, a few there. And of course on the left, if we're going to have some trunks there, we need to have something to anchor it to. Otherwise they're just floating there. And I'm just scratching with my finger just to create some added just this minor detail in the trunk of the tree. So now just at the end here and looking over, I'm just going to create just a little more dimension in these trees and hide a little bit of that scratching. And I'm just going to use the corner of the brush, kind of round out the tree a little bit and just create just a slightly darker, different shade of color. And just a little sweep of green underneath. It could be anything really, a shadow, a little greenery, something there. And just again filling out this little set of trees here just to look that much more random. Any more than that and you start getting into fussing territory. And I'm just going to add a little bit of foliage along the base here of where this mountain meets the middle ground area. Just to have something to kind of frame the bottom of that mountain so it's just not laying there. And that's it. That's your sort of 10-minute watercolor sketch, doodle, whatever you want to call it. It is a painting, something to be proud of. Once you knock a few of these out, you'll really enjoy yourself. And you'll wish you were painting for a longer period of time. Here's the finished piece. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.